Thor and Loki will return in Avengers Doomsday. Now, hey everybody, Colton here with another special off the, regular show schedule video for you. Completely off the cuff, just wanted to talk about this Thor teaser that is in the same vein as the Steve Rogers Doomsday teaser. Now, at the time I'm recording this, it's the Thursday night that Avatar is supposed to be, coming out, and the Doomsday trailer is supposed to be playing in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. And there've been a lot of recordings of the trailer getting leaked. I did a reaction to one of them, a really good HD recording of it. It was up for a little while, and then Disney, the mouse, they got me. They took it down. But I want to talk about this Thor one too, that is supposed to be dropping next week. And apparently, the reports are that they're going to do a different teaser for the first 4 weeks of Avatar being in theaters. So the first week, it's the Steve Rogers one, and then next week, it's apparently the Thor one. So I do want to read the description of the Thor trailer. Now, keep in mind, we have a full breakdown over on Screen Crush of the Steve Rogers teaser trailer. So be sure to go check that out. And we will do one for Thor as well when it officially drops. But right now I'm just giving my initial reactions to it. It sounds really cool. Let me see if I can. All right. So we see Thor, and he's in the, and I haven't actually seen it. I've just heard really good descriptions of it, and there's a supposed audio leak. Now, I'm always feeling inclined to say I'm not sure if it's real, because that's my initial gut feeling. There's so much AI stuff, and it's gotten so good at making, being able to replicate voices and images and stuff. I thought that the Chris Evans one was fake, but it wasn't. It's real. So I'm inclined to think that I guess this one is real, where otherwise I probably wouldn't have. But I heard the audio, I've read this description, so let me share it with you guys. I'm sure you've already heard it, but I really just want to give you my reactions to it. So we see him in the woods, he's kneeling, he is praying to his father Odin. Remember Odin, died in Thor Ragnarok. Of all the crowns, the kingdoms, the pride, I ask for none. Father, hear your son. I am not worthy of life, but still I beg you to let the thread lengthen. Not for thunder, not for war. Let me remain long enough to see my love once more. Okay, so a few things there. Of all the crowns and the kingdoms, remember, Thor gave up being king of Asgard. He gave up that role in Avengers Endgame, and now Valkyrie is the king of Asgard. And Thor Love and Thunder, say what you will about it, that was kind of a, Thor trying to find his place in the galaxy again, and what his role is as an Avenger, as a hero, as a god. So he doesn't want any kingdoms or crowns. He no longer has any pride. He's had this full character development. Got a little goofy with Love and Thunder, but that's also where he adopted the daughter of Gore, who was revived by the power of eternity, and who is now his daughter, Love. So when he says, I want to see my love again, I feel like I heard some people say that they thought that he was talking about Jane Foster, who is in Valhalla now, where Odin would be. No, he's talking about Love, his daughter's name, Love. Father, hear your son. I am not worthy of life. Talking about worthiness of the hammer. He's saying he's not even worthy to be alive, but still I beg you, let the thread lengthen. There was one more part. And when he says thread lengthen, that just makes me think of the threads of time that Loki is literally holding together. And we'll talk about here in a second what Loki has to do with all of this. Not for thunder, not for war. He's god of thunder. He's fought many battles. Let me remain long enough to see love once more. Okay. So that's his prayer. We can, of course, talk about, and I talked about this in my Steve Rogers reaction video, that there seems to be this theme where, okay, we see Steve Rogers with his kid. Maybe we're going to see, assuming this is real, we're seeing Thor talk about his kid, who we've already seen in Love and Thunder. The next trailer could be maybe it's a Doctor Doom focused one, and we see that he has a kid. There have been rumors that there's something going on with, like, in a different universe, Franklin is his son, something like that. We shall see. There is comic precedent for that. I've said that I would like to see teasers, Tobey Maguire, show him and his kid, show Hugh Jackman and Laura, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Laura, X-23. That would be cool. So we're seeing that this teaser, Thor is wanting to get to see his daughter one more time. I don't know if it is Thor just going into like some random battle, like he's out there in the galaxy, fighting battles, trying to help people. We saw that at the end of Love and Thunder, he and Love together. I think Thor has Mjolnir and Love had Stormbreaker. I think maybe I have that backwards, but I'm pretty sure Love had Stormbreaker, and they were going into battle like to go help someone or defend their home or something like that. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, and I saw it once because not that great. But another possibility, and I'm going to be careful what I say because I have a whole video that I'm planning to do for Screen Crush where I really like get into this and bring receipts and talk about this theory. But there seems to be some kind of pattern here, I will say, with Doom came for Franklin in that post-credit scene in Fantastic Four First Steps. We're seeing Steve with his baby son. We're hearing Thor talk about love. Is Doom coming for love? Did Doom get love and now Thor is trying to get her? I mean, she does have the power of eternity, so we'll just have to see. Now let's talk about what I am really excited about that I just learned about a little bit ago, is that not only at the end of this teaser does it say Thor, like in the Steve Rogers one, it says Steve Rogers will return in Avengers Doomsday. And that's, of course, playing on how all the, Avengers movies or like the movies in the Infinity Saga led up to different Avengers movies and stuff. And it would say so-and-so will return in Avengers Age of Ultron or something like that. So they're doing that with these teasers and they're bringing back these OGs. So in this one, it apparently says Thor and Loki will return in Avengers Doomsday. Now, say what you will about the multiverse saga, man. Loki, damn sure one of the best parts of this saga. That series is great. His character is fucking awesome. I want him to be a key character of Doomsday and Secret Wars. We know that that's what they were setting up with Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So I think the same will be true now. He's holding all of time together. He's definitely going to have a big role to play. So I love that they included Thor and Loki will return, because here's what that tells me. Not only will Loki have a big role in it, but we're going to see Thor and Loki reunited. And I love that relationship between Thor and Loki. The second they really got to bond and become like brothers at the end of Ragnarok, Thanos came right in, and then in Infinity War, Loki is dead. Like, dead. They actually killed him. Now, of course, they found yet another way to bring him back in the time heist. He escapes, and that's how he is now on the throne at the end of time. So it has kind of become a joke at this point that Loki's always back. Thor even kind of references that in Infinity War. When he says, but I think he's really dead this time. He's died before. So I'm excited to see not only Thor and Loki reunite, but Loki is such a different character now. He's so like mature and like wise and can be like this older brother to Thor. And I'm trying to. Is Loki I should know this. Is Loki the oldest brother or the young? I think Thor's or are they like the same age? I'm really embarrassed that I don't know that. Anyway, now their struggle though was always Loki wanted the throne and Thor, he wanted the throne temporarily, but he wasn't putting in like all the work really to get it. He was arrogant and whatnot, and so was Loki. But Loki really wanted the throne, but it was pretty much just given to Thor. But then here Thor is rejecting the throne, and now here Loki is actually on the throne. But they're at these points because they both stopped trying to be something they weren't. Loki finally got to be who he truly wanted to be all along. and realized that his villainous ways weren't the right way. And that ultimately led to where he needed to be, which was a throne. And Thor did the same thing, and that has ultimately led to where he needed to be, which was not on a throne. So I think we're going to have a lot of really cool moments between Thor and Loki in this movie. I hope to see them tag teaming Doom. That sounded a little dirty, but I hope to see some great brothers moments between these two characters, because a lot of what Avengers Doomsday is going to be doing is pulling on the nostalgia strings for the Infinity Saga. Not only is the Multiverse Saga pulling on the nostalgia strings of pre-MCU stuff by bringing back the X-Men and the OG Spider-Man and stuff like that, they're also pulling on those nostalgia strings for the MCU itself, the Infinity Saga. Steve Rogers, Thor, RDJ, back as Doctor Doom. And a big part of that Infinity Saga was Loki. He is right up there with those, main Infinity Saga characters, and that dynamic between Thor and Loki is something that audiences absolutely love. You have to remember, going back to the Infinity Saga, Loki was a fan favorite, and he still is. And I think we still have more stories to tell with Loki and Thor. I'm excited for Loki to meet his niece, Love. So it's going to be really, really cool to see. I hope neither of them die. I realize I've rambled on long enough. I do have more to say, but like I said, tune in to Screen Crush whenever that video comes. We're having to be careful with how we release these, because we're getting the information, because everybody's getting the information. It's dropping online, but we have to be careful about when we talk about it, because Disney is taking down videos and stuff that show anything from it, or sometimes even talk about it. So we'll just have to see. We're playing it safe, but I do have a cool theory video coming soon. All right. If you're watching this the night I posted it, Ask Colton is going to be filmed tomorrow, I believe. So we're going to have a great show for that one. Thank you guys for bearing with me on these. I've wanted to just do like these update videos, like talking about all this news that we have coming out. And, I only record the main show, like the hour-long full show. I do that once a week. I got my full thing with Screen Crush, so I only do the full show once a week. But there's been so much coming out. There was stuff that I just had to talk about with you guys. And not in like a scripted fashion or anything. Just me, kind of like old school, how we used to do it here on the channel. Hopping on, talking to you guys, rambling, probably saying the same thing over and over again. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for listening. And it's been really fun to just kind of sit down in front of the camera and talk about this stuff and kind of geek out about it, instead of having to, like structure it out and have my bullet points and my notes. And it's fun to do these as well. So thank you so much. It's it's getting late. I had a long day. I'm going to head, but I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye! Hey everybody, Colton here, and this is the Mailbag Style Show, where I take your questions about Marvel, Star Wars, DC, movies and streaming in general. Whatever you want to ask, send it in to the email address askcoltonnow@gmail.com, link in the description below. And hey, maybe you'll see your question featured right here on the show.